Welcome back to my channel. With me, I have a very interesting video that will get you asking yourself questions. But before we get started, please click on the subscribe button, like this video, and share your take on this trending story. A video has gone viral after Elon Musk was seen in Israel. Now, the video shows Israelis showing him around Kibbutz, a place believed to be the one Hamas invaded. Now, Elon Musk is a businessman and investor who owns 6 companies that span a range of industries, from electronic vehicles to the underground tunnel company to the social media giant formerly known as Twitter. Now, this is a man who co-founded the electronic payment firm PayPal, and in 2002 he founded SpaceX, a company that makes rockets and spacecraft. Talking about rockets and spacecrafts, could this be the reason of his visit to Israel? Well, stay glued if you want to find out. My thoughts right now are, what could this man be doing in Israel right now amidst a conflict? But before we get to the roots of that, let's check out a video of him when he visited Israel. I will be right back.
Last night, some of them returned home. Not home yet, but returned to Israel. And, most of them were kidnapped from the houses over here.
Is when the terrorists infiltrated into the kibbutz itself. This is the house of Netanyahu. On his way back, you notice several tourists that were right over here. It's a symbol in the kibbutz. You have kids inside, the mothers and the fathers run around with it. But it's holding shells, specifically of a Negev, that was used here in order to protect the people. נכנסים לתוך הבית. של סמיר. איפה הולכים? בואו, דו סביר לבית. Beside them in order to breach doors or windows. And this is the insignia of the unit, yes, sir.
There were dozens of
After watching that video, you can only wonder what really he was doing in Israel. Trust me, I'm not the only one asking this question. Like, everyone wants to know why he was there. Are you sure this is something you want to miss? Of course not. So grab your popcorns as we get to unveil the truth behind his visit. But for now, check out these teachers and hear what people had to say about this trending story. Stay glued. I will be right back.
Why is Elon Musk in Israel? Well, 2 reasons, and the second one is more complicated than the first. So the first is, of course, that Elon Musk is trying to convince the world that he's not anti-Semitic, right? Back on Wednesday, two weeks ago Wednesday, he basically endorsed a post on X that was pushing a anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. And he wrote, "You have said the actual truth," and set off this firestorm, right, in which advertisers pull out and seem to have cost X like tens of millions of dollars in advertising revenue at a time when that company cannot afford it. He went on to then say, "I'm not anti-Semitic, and people are misconstruing what I said. I'm about, positivity and creating a bright, prosperous future for everybody." But even the White House denounced him, right? So even he seems to have recognized he's in big PR trouble. So he goes and he gets the full state visit, the head of state kind of dignitary treatment. Prime Minister Netanyahu shows him around Kfar Aza, one of the kibbutzes that was attacked on October 7th, where dozens of people died. He watches a presentation of video from the day of the attacks put in front of him by the Israel Defense Forces. He gets high level access. which then, and then once he lands in Israel, he posted on X, "Actions speak louder than words." So seeming to admit that this was about rehabilitating his image. Now, why would Netanyahu give him this kind of treatment, right? The prime minister at this time would seem to have a lot more to do than walk around under an umbrella with Elon Musk. Well, at the end of the meeting, I mean, you just have to remember, right? Elon Musk is not just the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and X. He's also the CEO of Starlink, which is the big, it's the world's largest network of communication satellites, owned by anybody, government or private, right? He's got more than 4,300 satellites at last count up in the air, and he already, right, during the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, he decided not to allow the Ukrainian forces to use Starlink in such a way that they would make a major attack on Russian naval forces. In the Elon Musk biography that came out recently, it was revealed, Elon Musk said, "Yeah, I did it because I thought it would be an over-escalation and might lead to a nuclear event." So he controls communications that are crucial for some strategic moments in world affairs. And in this case, what Netanyahu and his cabinet got out of it is, after the visit, Shlomo Karhi, the communications minister for Israel, posted on X, "Elon Musk, I congratulate you for reaching a principal understanding with the Ministry of Communications under my leadership." And he says, "As a result of this significant agreement, Starlink satellites can only be operated in Israel with the approval of the Israeli Ministry of Communications, including the Gaza Strip." So the total blackout in Gaza of food, water, electricity has also, of course, included communications. Elon Musk would have been a way for people in Gaza to be able to live stream what's going on. It would, of course, be of tactical advantage for Hamas. But, very, very interesting that, he has agreed to not make Starlink satellite connectivity available to Gaza unless Israel gives permission. So here's two powerful people coming together, and each of them seems to have gotten what they want.
Elon Musk has just been forced into making what I consider to be essentially a devil's bargain. So a lot of us saw that Elon was in Israel today doing the rounds with Prime Minister Netanyahu, learning about the so-called truth of October the 7th. By the way, this vest, it's gotta be way too small, right? I think this is the IDF's way of getting back at him for the reason why he had to be there at all in the first place, which is to rehabilitate his image, because last week he endorsed a seemingly anti-Semitic post on X by calling it the absolute truth. And then shortly thereafter, major advertisers were like, "Peace, we out of here," including Apple, the most valuable company in the world. But there's something weird going on, because this is entirely out of character for Elon.
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
That's right. I'll say what I want, and if the consequences of that is losing money, so be it. And this was only about 6 months ago. So what is going on here? Well, we know he made a horrible business deal when he bought Twitter, now X. This is the New York Times reporting. The company took on $13 billion in loans for his buyout of the social network. The interest payments for that debt totals more than $1 billion annually. That's right, a billion with a B in interest payments just to keep the lights on. Just for a little bit of context, Twitter only generated $4.4 billion in revenue in 2022, which is the last year they were public. So Elon, despite his branding of X as the bastion of free speech, he can't afford to let any of these advertisers leave, let alone the likes of Apple. Now, Bibi, why does he want to get involved in this? Why does he want to help Elon rehabilitate his image? Well, he gets something too. You see, Israel has Gaza under a strict blockade, which includes controlling their access to power, water, and food, and the ability to turn their communications on and off, which they've done before. The only thing Gazans can rely on to circumvent this blockade is access to Starlink, which is also run by Elon Musk. And guess what Bibi got Elon to agree to? Yep, no Starlink for Gaza. This is the Israeli Minister of Communications. Elon Musk, I congratulate you for reaching a principal understanding with the Ministry of Communications under my leadership. As a result of this significant agreement, Starlink satellite units can only be operated in Israel with the approval of the Israeli Ministry of Communications, including the Gaza Strip. And that's how one man, in order to save himself and his company, has sacrificed the livelihoods of 2.2 million people. Meaning,
Elon Musk is breaking the internet because he went and he visited Netanyahu. They're both apartheid twins, so I'm not really surprised by their little relationship, but everything about this is so freaking weird. Netanyahu and Musk condemn Hamas and they basically call it a death cult and the new Nazi. Just a couple weeks ago, Elon Musk agreed with an insanely anti-Semitic tweet and a lot of people pulled out from advertising on Twitter, but now he's traveling calling other people anti-Semitic. There's also a preliminary agreement between Israeli Minister of Communication and Elon Musk to not turn on the broadband internet in the Gaza Strip without Israeli approval. But now activists on Twitter are campaigning for the hashtag Visit Gaza, demanding Musk to actually go to the Gaza Strip and see what's going on himself. Do I have any hope that he's going to do this? No, but I think it would be very interesting if he gets bullied enough to do it, just so he can see he's literally falling for propaganda.
So Elon Musk recently went to Israel to hang out with Bibi Netanyahu and gobble up every piece of propaganda he spouts out. And I don't know, maybe this is because Elon made most of his money from an emerald mine in apartheid South Africa. So now he wants to support the only existing apartheid state in the world today. But anyways, apparently after this visit, he said the propaganda against Israel must stop, which makes me think he's gonna start censoring Twitter and critics of Israel, which Zionists are begging him for. They're begging him to start censoring advocates for Palestine because the Zionists are losing the information war because the truth isn't on their side. Israel is an apartheid state that's actively massacring thousands of children, and the world is finding out about it because of the internet and social media. So now the Zionists are desperate to get a hold of the social media narrative through censorship. And this is why I never believed a capitalist would protect our freedom of speech. The only thing they're going to protect is their bottom line, their profits, their surplus value.
Breaking news. If you got this video, share it, repost it, and comment. As we all know, Elon Musk is visiting Israel to see the situation there and to make official approval not to provide Starlink to Gaza unless the occupation of Israel approves it. I need a favor from everyone. I believe that social media can change a lot in the situation in Gaza. So I need a favor from everybody. We can change this. Let's start a hashtag on Twitter. Hashtag Visit Gaza. Again, hashtag Visit Gaza. I will put my Twitter right now, /X right here. Go ahead and follow it and go ahead and start the hashtag Visit Gaza. I know Elon Musk is double-faced, but I believe one thing in this war: genocide. Social media can change anything, anybody's opinion, anybody approval with anyone. So again, we don't have nothing to lose. What we can do is try our best to support our people in Gaza. So this hashtag Visit Gaza, it may change something. It may not, but it will do one thing to prove to the leaders that the people of this world is with Gaza and against genocide.
Now, on this visit, Elon Musk met with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and it seems there are multiple deals in the works. During Musk's visit, Netanyahu gave him a personal tour at one of the invaded sites, and according to Reuters, Israel says Musk and the country has already reached an agreement that would allow for Starlink satellite internet in Gaza. Now, the details of that plan aren't clear yet, but Musk and Netanyahu spoke openly about other plans and a Twitter space they co-host together. Now, I think one of the most surprising revelations in this space was Musk expressing that he was interested in helping Israel rebuild Gaza. Well, he didn't elaborate on what help he wants to provide. Like, it doesn't reduce the idea of potential government contracts with Israel pertaining to the war. And this is pretty surprising for Musk because in the past he's expressed a lot of discomfort with any of his businesses involved in violent conflict. The visit with Netanyahu follows immense controversy that Musk created by tweeting an agreement with an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory on Twitter that tweet in real evaluation of anti-Semitic content on the platform has caused many advertisers to pull out from Twitter in the last week. Now, an Israeli official said that Benjamin Netanyahu took Musk to one of the kibbutzi attacked by Hamas on October 7th, where the two walked through the ruins and visited the home of 4-year-old Israeli-American Abigail Adan, who was kidnapped after her parents were unalived. Now, this comes after Musk continues to face huge backlash for anti-Semitic posts on X. Now, Musk was said to have backed Israel's war on Gaza after the trip that came during the truce between Hamas and Israel, and he also agreed to not provide internet access to Gaza through his satellite company Starlink without Israeli approval. Now, here's what to know about Musk's visit to Israel and its significance. Why did Elon Musk visit Israel? Musk's visit to Israel, which came amid a truce between Hamas and Israel, follows backlash against the post on X that many have labeled as anti-Semitic, triggering a wave of advertisement withdrawals from the platform by corporate giants such as Apple and IBM, potentially costing X millions of dollars. Earlier this month, Musk agreed with a social media post accusing Jewish people of pushing dialectal hatred against palm color people. Now, Musk's remarks received condemnation in the United States from the White House for being abhorrent, and has also been accused of allowing advertisements from major corporations next to neo-Nazi and white nationalist content. X is also facing a probe from the European Union into the spread of disinformation and violent content about Israel's war on Gaza, and has either criticized or denied findings from organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League and the Center for Countering Digital Hate from the European Union into the spread of disinformation and violent content about Israel's war on Gaza, and has either criticized or denied findings from organizations such as the Anti-Defamation League and the Center for Countering Digital Hate that X has witnessed an increase in hate speech since he became CEO last year. Now, X has sued Media Matters after accusing the media watchdog of manipulating an algorithm to drive away advertisers, and the watchdog has called the lawsuit frivolous. Where did Musk go and what did he say during the trip? Escorted by Netanyahu and other security personnel, Musk toured the Kfar Aza kibbutzi attacked by Hamas fighters on October 7, where he was also shown footage of the Hamas attack and met some of the families of people taken into captivity from Israel. It was jarring to see the scene of the unaliving, said Musk later in an X Spaces conversation with Netanyahu, adding Israel has no choice but to eliminate Hamas. In the brief live-streamed conversation on X, Musk and Netanyahu agreed that Hamas needs to be destroyed, a mission that Israel has used as justification for its military offensive that has claimed overwhelmingly civilian lives. You first have to get rid of the poisonous regime, as you did in Germany, as you did in Japan. Yeah, in World War II, said Netanyahu. Musk replied, there's no choice. And Israeli President Isaac Herzog told Musk during a meeting that he had a huge role to play in the global fight against anti-Semitism. We have to do whatever is necessary to stop the hate. And Musk replied, according to a statement released by Herzog's office. Why did Netanyahu escort him weeks after asking him to condemn anti-Semitism? On the X space, Netanyahu said that Musk's visit to Israel points to his solidarity with Israel, and the fact that you came here, I think, speaks volumes to your commitment to try to secure a better future, he said. Netanyahu reminded Musk that the last time they spoke, the two had a conversation about artificial intelligence, and he told the tech CEO that great talents are available in Israel, and pointed to Israeli manufacturing of iPhones and operations versions of the navigation app Waze. Now, Netanyahu previously met Musk in California on September 18, where the Israeli Prime Minister urged him to strike a balance between protecting free expression and fighting hate speech after weeks of controversy over anti-Semitism on X. And Musk responded by saying he was against anti-Semitism and against anything that promotes hate and conflict, repeating his previous statements that X would not promote hate speech. Now, Musk's visit to Israel is being criticized by some supporters of Israel and Palestine. Esther Solomon, editor-in-chief of the Israeli newspaper, blasted Musk's trip as a PR visit in a post on X. And in an opinion piece on the news site, correspondent Ben Samuels also said Israel's embrace of Musk is a betrayal of Jews and a stain on Netanyahu's legacy. Musk has also been questioned online for not visiting Gaza, despite the unalivings and destruction wrought on the territory by Israeli bees. In October, the CEO Musk's, Esther Solomon, editor-in-chief of the Israeli newspaper, blasted Musk's trip as a PR visit in a post on X. And in an opinion piece on the news site, correspondent Ben Samuels also said Israel's embrace of Musk is a betrayal of Jews and a stain on Netanyahu's legacy. Musk has also been questioned online for not visiting Gaza, despite the unalivings and destruction wrought on the territory by Israeli bees. In October, the CEO Musk had said that Starlink will support connectivity to internationally recognized aid organizations in Gaza as Gaza plunged into darkness after its communications blackout in October. Social media users pleaded with Musk to provide the besieged enclave with internet access through Starlink, and the company uses satellite technology instead of cable technology to provide internet access, and also came to the aid of Ukraine when the country faced its own blackouts during its war with Russia. Musk's instant provision of Starlink access to Ukraine prompted people to call him out for having double standards when it came to Israel's war on Gaza. And Israel has also previously opposed Starlink connectivity for Gaza, contesting that Hamas would use it for terrorist activities. We have come to the end of the video. Kindly share your take on this trending story. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video.